You know where it's at. This is one of the most famous race circuits on the planet. It is, of course, South Garda karting. It is, of course, the first round of the 2019 WSK Open Cup. And fortunately, it's a glorious autumnal afternoon here in the north of Italy. Good afternoon and welcome to round one of two for 2019, the WSK Open Cup. We are about to race for the first of 4 times here this afternoon. You are watching us live on WSK.it. 262 entries, 51 nations all around the world represented. We started with qualifying a few days ago. We raced the heats, 38 of them in all. And then we had the pre-finals this morning. We're down to our final grids. And in a few moments' time, we will race the OK Junior Final, the first of 2 rounds for the junior category. Of course, from here, we go to Castelletto di Branduzzo in 2 weeks' time. In a few moments' time, it will be an all-Russian front row of the grid. Bedrin and Severukian won their respective pre-finals. They're ready to go. How did they get there? Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights thus far this weekend at South Garda Karting. Andrea Antonelli for Team Rosberg took pole position on a drying circuit on Friday afternoon. The driver who won the WSK Euro Series earlier in the 2019 season looked to be the driver to beat throughout the heats. However, in the pre-finals this morning, he had to fight with the likes of Arvid Lindblad, the Londoner, on your screen now, as well as the 2 Russians, 332 Artem Severukian for Ward Racing, who won his respective pre-final, along with his countryman Nikita Bedrin, who will line up on pole position for the final in just a few moments' time. The Russian for the Tony Kart Racing team. 84 drivers in the junior category. We're down to the final 34. South Garda karting, the WSK Open Cup, and we're ready to race for the first of 4 times here this weekend. They're ready to go on the grid. The Russians lock out the front row of the grid. 320 to the right of your screen. From Belgorod down on the Ukrainian border, Nikita Bedrin to the left. It's Artem Severukian from Yekaterinburg in Russia for Ward Racing. To stop one of these 2 drivers, well, the best bet, probably Andrea Antonelli. It looked as though he would have it all to himself yesterday, but he had a real fight on his hands in the pre-final this morning. Don't discount Diego Contecha, the Lennox Racing 358 Esprit card on the inside of the second row of the grid. That will be crucial in the race down to turn number 1. You can see the umbrellas on the beautiful grid girls up in action. However, it's not for the rain, it's to block out the sun. Can you believe it? 23 degrees. We're approaching winter here in the north of Italy, but it's a fabulous afternoon. As you can see, the track is dry and the Vega slick tyres are the go for these 34 karts, which are about to be pushed into life. Nikita Bedrin on pole position. We will take a look at the grid in its entirety in just a moment. And once again, we thank you for your company, watching us live all around the world on WSK.it. This is round 1 of 2, the 2019 WSK Open Cup. In 2 weeks' time, we go to Castelletto di Branduzzo. And then we finish the season with the WSK Final Cup at Adria International Raceway, about an hour south of Venice, on the 17th of November. We pray for weather as good as it is today in 2 weeks and 3 weeks' time, respectively. The kart's about to be pushed into life, the OK Junior category. The first of 2 rounds for these junior drivers. Antonelli, of course, winning the WSK Euro Series, which took place earlier in the year, including a round at this South Garda Karting Lonato circuit. 262 drivers in the 4 categories, representing 51 nations from all around the world. And we're ready here this afternoon for the first time. The karts pushed into life. We get the green flag from our assistant race director, Mr. Marco Carlino, under the control of our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, who is officiating in his 1014th event here this week in the WSK Open Cup. As we take a look at the grid for you, the Russians on the front row of the grid, Bedran, Severukian. Then it's the Colombian Contecha with the Euro Series champ, Antonelli. Martinez, Stensone, and the Londoner Lindblad on the third row with Igor Chappell and the Singaporean Christian Ho. Alfio Spinner, the Sicilian, alongside the reigning Euro champ, Marcus Aman. Then another Russian, they are everywhere. It's Gubenko from Moscow, Silverholm, Konrad Lausen, Karol Pashovich, Ariel Elkin, Andrei Zhivnov, Kasper Stuka, Jakob Bergmeister, and from New York, USA, Ugo Ugachuku, alongside the Dutchman, Robert De Haan. Kalle Bergman, Lorenzo Resico, Victoria Blockina from Moscow is alongside Menino do Brasil, the boy from Brazil, Matias Ferreira, starting back on the grid, further back than he would have liked. Then it's Dion Gauda, Jal Bergstrom. Super Kid is alongside Lawrence Lesetua. Tasapol Indrapuvasak, the second tie in the field, Maxim Soldatov. And then he's Andrea Frasinetti, Alexander Partichev, the Ukrainian Nicolas Baptiste, the second Colombian in the field, and on the final row of the grid, Ivan Dominguez from Portugal. We go around one more time. This is not the start. Ivan scraping through into the field, the 357 Vortex-powered Esprit kart for the Lennox Racing team. Nikita Bedran on pole, Severukian alongside. It's a 2-round series for 2019. Who can stop the Russians? They are only outnumbered by the Italians, the home nation, once again here this weekend. There is the assistant director, Mr. Marco Carlino, on your screen on the middle of the circuit. Say, slow it down, boys and girls, because Victoria has driven superbly from Moscow in the 338 Tony kart. She starts on the 12th row of the grid alongside Menino, Matias Ferreira. As ever, Ian Salvestrin, your commentator for the WSK Open Cup. We are ready to race for the first time here this afternoon. Up to the line, the Russians lead us to the green. We race! And Bedran into the lead, immediately followed by Diego Contecha, the Colombian, into second place ahead of Artem Severukian. The Ward Racing team driver looks behind. They all do likewise. He's in third place. Igor Chappell making a good start. Look out for the Sauber of the Singaporean Christian Ho on the go here this afternoon. But at the moment, as they come down the hill for the first time, they both look behind. It's Bedran from Contecha. That's Alfio Spinner trying to make a move in the Chetila Performance Racing KR kart. Artem Severukian going wheel to wheel with the Euro Series champion, literally Andrea Antonelli, as the Londoner Lindblad also goes by the winner of the pre-final this morning from the front row of the grid. After lap number 1, Artem Severukian back to position 5. Nikita from Diego. And it's Andrea in position 3. Look at Contecha, skates under brakes. Looks good here this afternoon, looks racy. Bedran, it'll take a lap or 2 for the Tony kart to come up to speed. Almost identical equipment for Contecha. Esprit Vortex for the Colombian versus Vortex Tony kart for the Russian Andrea Antonelli in a 980 powered Kart Republic for the Rosberg Racing team Inside rear off the deck for the Colombian. He's so close to the back of Nikita. This is his best opportunity, as we saw in the heats and the pre-final this morning. It took a lap or two for Bedran to come on, but when he did, he came on strong. He leads the race from Contegia. Antonelli ominously starts to pull away from Martinez. Sets the fastest lap of the race. Lindblad has fallen back behind Severukin, ahead of spinner Lausen, Alexander Gubenko, and the Singaporean Christian Ho in position 10. Down the hill they go. Antonelli, the first of the KR machines. Team Rosberg for Dino Chiesa. The Iami-powered Kart Republic. Still Contegia shadows Nikita. He needs to do something soon because it's only a matter of a few corners before the boy from Bologna is right up on the back of the Colombian. In fact, he's there right now. Nikita Bedran has got the race lead. We're just getting word through, mind you. Race control, Artem Severukin under investigation for a starting infringement. Severukin under investigation, runs in position 5 for Ward Racing. There he is, just drops back behind Antonelli. The Ward Racing driver won the pre-final this morning, 3-3-2. That's the Russian from Yekaterinburg, the city that hosted a few games of the FIFA World Cup just a couple of years ago. In position 5, under investigation, as Andrea Antonelli on the back of Contegia. Antonelli, a faster sector again, has Contegia missed his opportunity. Estensone catches the front 3. He lowers the best lap time to 49.2. Severukin in position 5, still under investigation from Lindblad, and it's spinner Ho up to 8th, Lausen, Gubenko, and another Russian, Andrei Zhivnov, rounds out the 10. Chepil, Elkin, Pashovic, Resico, Robert Dehaan ahead of the German Jakob Bergmeister. And from near on the back of the grid is the Belgian who now lives in Spain, Laurens Lecertu ahead of Ivan Dominguez, the Portuguese driver with a storming start. Ahead of Tassapol Indrapuvasak, the Thai driver, the first Thai driver, ahead of Ugo Ugochukwu, all the way from the USA. They start a lap at number 6 now, 5 in the books. Stensone with another fastest lap, which is immediately lapped, or matched I should say, by Arvid Lindblad. Severukin in position 5 as Contegia closes in on the back of Nikita Bedran. It's a 4-kart fight. They come up the hill, 4-kart fight. We're just getting news from race control. If Artem Severukin was to catch him, it won't be a 5-car fight. Disregard the Ward Racing pilot. Under investigation, scrap that. He just cops a 10-second penalty. As Stensone goes down the inside. He's now the top Kart Republic, the Norwegian, who won the 60cc mini category 12 months ago in the WSK Open Kart, goes past the Euro Series champ for Team Rosberg, Antonelli. Bedran, Contegia, now it's Martinez. P4 is Andrea. Catching them with the fastest lap of the race, no less, is Artem Severukin, but he's got a 10-second penalty. Bedran from Contegia, and it's Martinez. As we were saying 12 months ago, he took out the WSK Open Cup right here at Lonato in the 60cc mini category. TM-powered Paralin on that occasion. Now it's a Kart Republic for the Norwegian in third, and he's pulling away from Antonelli. In the heats yesterday, we did not think that would happen. And speaking of Kart Republics, Lindblad, a 46.7. Here comes Martinez, looks back to Andrea. Lindblad is catching Severukin. The Russian from the front row of the grid, a 10-second penalty. That drops him way down the order. Effectively, his race is over. Contegia behind Bedran, he dropped back, but he's drawn him back in. The problem for the Colombian, who at the moment is on the podium, is that Martinez is closed in on the back of the Lennox Racing Esprit kart. Andrea gets back the Norwegian though. 5-kart fight on the track it may be. Make that 6 because the Londoner Lindblad is right there as well. But Severukin, a 10-second penalty. 9 laps remaining. Bedran controlling the pace out front. There is Contecha. Alfio Spinner trying to drag himself into this battle. The Chetila Performance Racing Team driver representing the World Endurance Championship team. Roberto Lacorte, Giorgio Cernaggiotto and Andrea Balicchi, all of which have done many a lap over the years here at Lonato, racing in the World Endurance Championship for the colours of Chetila Performance, as is Alfio Spinner, the Sicilian, in 7th place. So Lindblad, let's not confuse it, he's 3:08, Stenson at 3:06. The blue and green machine of Spinner in 7th, and it's Zhivnov. And Alexander Gubenko from Moscow in Russia rounds out the 10 with 8 laps remaining. The final, round 1 of 2, the WSK Open Cup for 2019. Here is Martinius as Artem Severukian drops down our leaderboard with that 10-second penalty applied. Incredibly, he's actually still 13th on the road, behind Robert Dahan, head of Karol Pashovic, Hugo Ukachuku, Ivan Dominguez from the back of the grid. He's up into 16th place. Look at the wheel jack on Bedran's kart as Andrea slams it down the inside. Just send it, sunshine, and he does. Stensoner follows him through. Lindblad's right there. Disregards Severukian. He's driving superbly, but a 10-second penalty means that his race is effectively over. There are CCTV cameras all around the circuit. He moves into 4th on the road, but he won't make the podium unless something spectacular happens in the remaining few corners. Diogo Contecha, meanwhile, has gone from 2nd, challenging the leader. He's back in 6th place. They come down the hill with 7 laps remaining, and now we've got what we expected. Bedran versus Antonelli. Tony Kart versus Kart Republic. Inside rear, just slight correction as the kart grips here in the sunshine, here in the north of Italy. You're watching us live on WSK.it. The first round of 2 for 2019, the WSK Open Cup. There's Bedran going through the gap. He's 0.5 of a second. We'll keep an eye on that. Although you can see on your screen, it's only about 3 kart lengths. Here's Martinez in 3. Severukin 4th on the road, 13th officially in the timing system. And as Contecha, 6th on the road, but 5th in the race. Alfio Spinner, Christian Ho, Zhivnov. Konrad Lalson, incidentally, William Silverholm and Victoria Blockina from Moscow. The 13-year-old girl who drove so superbly on her debut in WSK competition. Those 3 drivers have retired. Kalle Bergman, the final runner at the moment. The Swede not getting a good start. He's trying to chase down Frasinetti, Genju Tranen, Maxim Soldatov and Joel Bergström. Bedran, the gap, 0.3 of a second. 46.621. The boy from Bologna. In 2nd place, Team Rosberg, Kart Republic. Less than 5 laps remaining now. He's behind Nikita Bedran. This race is on as Martinez tries to stay with him. That was Alfio coming down the hill in position 6. Into the Bridgestone hairpin. Antonelli's got him in his sights. Look at the grip that these OK Junior karts are generating. Massive G-forces on the exit. Bedran lets the kart do the work. Gets a good run out of the hairpin that time. It stays at 0.3 of a second. In fact, he extends it ever so slightly. Fastest 3rd sector of the entire race for the Russian, for the Tony Kart Racing team. Martinez head down behind the steering wheel. Skates under brakes. The Norwegian wants to join the Italian and the Russian in the battle for 1st place. Time is running out, but if they fight, Martinez will be right there with them. Down into the Bridgestone hairpin, that's Bedran. Antonelli is quick through this hairpin section, the final 3 corners of the circuit. But Bedran consistently gets a good run coming onto the straight. A slightly wider line uses some of the runoff area, the ripple strip here at South Garden Karting. down the straight, 118 k's an hour for the OK Junior Karts, a slipstream, and you can add a couple to that as well. Stensornet from Lindblad, who joins the fight, the Londoner with a 48.564, the fastest driver on the circuit. That's the Sauber of the Singaporean Christian Ho, ahead of another Russian, Andrei Zhivnov, Igor Chepel, and Ariel Elkin from the Holy Land of Israel in position 10. 2 laps remaining at the end of this one. Andrea needs to make the move. This is where he's quick. Closes in under brakes, but Nikita gets the run. It's the Vortex versus Amy. Centre down the inside. There was no space. He'll be slightly slower on the exit. Spinner goes through in 7th place. Bedrin gets a fabulous run with a lap and a half remaining, being coached by the 2011 World Cup champion, Felici Tiene, who as a driver also in the race in the desert, Bahrain, finished 3rd after starting in grid 20. The 2016 World Championships, retired from driving to coach his young protege, Nikita Bedrin, and he's doing the business out front with a lap and a few corners remaining. The first round of 2 for 2019. Massive wheeljack. Andrea tries to send it. Nikita Bedrin struggling the final stages, but he's still quick enough. This is the last lap of the race. The gap, 0.29 of a second. Drifts it into turn 1. Antonelli has not launched an attack and he's too far back. Martinez looks behind. Arvid's right there. Here comes Antonelli. Sends it down the inside. Came from the clouds to make the move. Watch the Russian try and respond. Martinez is now right there as well. 5 corners remaining. Antonelli white lines it and cops a hit in the back for his troubles. Watch him go right down into the hairpin. This is not over yet by a long shot. Lindblad and Stensornet go wheel to wheel. Antonelli 1 quarter remaining. Bedrin won't do it. Sends it down the inside. Oh, surely it's a Kart Republic victory. They're 5 wide, and it's Lindblad, the Londoner, who takes the victory from Antonelli and Nikita Bedrin. Wow, what a finish from the Englishman. He wins by, listen to this, 0.040 of a second. What a finish here at South Garda Karting. Here at Lonato, that was just spectacular. Arvid Lindblad has won the opening round of the WSK Open Cup by the narrowest of margins. Antonelli is second with Bedrin third as we look at the highlights from a race that came alive in the dying stages. Nikita Bedrin, after starting on pole position, led up until the very final lap. Antonelli sent it from a mile back. Lindblad and Stensornet, who incidentally finished in 5th behind Diego Contecha. The final few corners, watch this. 308, the Londoner. They were 5 wide. Antonelli thought he'd won it. I'm sorry, Andrea, mi dispiace, ma ha vinto l'inglese. Arvid Lindblad. What a sensational finish here at the center of the karting universe, South Garda Karting. Lindblad by the narrowest of margins from Antonelli, Bedrin, Contecha and Stensornet. Alfio Spinner comes home position 6 from the Singaporean Ho. Andrei Zhivnov, Chepel and Elkin in position 10. Arvid Lindblad, 0.04 of a second, has won the opening round of the WSK Open Cup ahead of Antonelli and Bedrin. A more spectacular finish you could not predict. These are the results. Lindblad 1, Antonelli 2, and the Russian, who started on pole position, comes home third on the podium. in one of the most amazing finishes you will ever see here at Lonato. Contented fourth from Martinius Alfio. Great drive to sixth from Christian Ho, Zhivnov, Igor Chekel, Elkin, and Severukian. Unbelievable, the first of four finals this afternoon. And Arvid Lindblad from London has won it, not only for England after their success in World of Sport in the last couple of days, but also for Kart Republic. Stay with us at Lonato, the podium presentation for OK Junior in just a moment. This is the WSK Open Cup from South Garda Karting. The podium in just a moment. They cross the line with Arvid Lindblad taking the win on the track, but they arrive in the podium in a slightly different order. Bedran, Lindblad, not on the podium. We've got a new podium. It's not as you expected. We are going to proceed in third place in the OK Junior Final from Norway, Martinius Stensone. Second place, the South American from Colombia, Diego Contecha. He does officially take the win, the Euro Series champion, Andrea Antonelli. The third place trophy to Martinius Stensone. Second place, Diego Contecha of Colombia. The winner of the Open Cup from Italy, Andrea Antonelli. As we stand by for the national anthem of Italia. The podium for OK Junior, third place, Martinius Stensone, Diego Contecha from Colombia in second, and Andrea Antonelli wins the first race of the afternoon here at Lonato. Stay with us, the WSK Open Cup continues live on WSK.it in just a moment. Welcome back to South Garda Karting, the second final of the afternoon for KZ2, the gearbox category here on the circuit here. And